I don't like that name.
Brie Larson is captain of the universe, and this time she's planning a girls' night out with the Cosmic Sisterhood in Disney's The Marvels, a $275 million movie co-starring Teyonah Parris and Iman Vellani. And just when you thought it was safe to vote Democrat, in comes another reminder that we recently saw an elected president who crapped his pants on stage and had to be helped off by his hospice nurse. Hello again, I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune.
And I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. This week we'll be reviewing The Marvels, an appropriate title for a movie that'll have you marveling at just how post-apocalyptic Avenger Endgame really was. And Gene, all I can say is somebody needed to be in the pitch meeting with smelling salts, because the executive who greenlit this dog pile was probably being held at gunpoint by whoever's holding the governor of California at gunpoint. In the movie, Captain Marvel finds her powers entangled with a teenage superfan and an astronaut after a cosmic anomaly links them across space. As the trio begins switching places whenever they use their abilities, they're forced to confront a vengeful warlord wielding a powerful artifact. And Gene, isn't it ironic how last week you mentioned the fact-checking problems of today's writers? And here we are again in the opening sequence where the villains are visiting a moon with no atmosphere, dressed in casual wear, just having a normal conversation despite the fact that sound can't travel in space.
Yeah, it's amazing how bipolar this movie seems to be. One minute it can't make sense of basic physics, and the next it's giving us an advanced lesson on quantum entanglement theory. And my God, Roger, how many jarring tonal shifts do we have to suffer through in just 2 hours? In that clip we showed, the plucky teen accidentally keeps bringing aliens into a living room decorated like it's a 90s sitcom, and during the entire fight sequence, her bookish Indian parents are sitting there plopped on Chandler and Joey's couch, acting like they're being kept from watching their favorite show on Netflix.
All while their teen daughter acts like a bull in a china shop. Oops, I did it again. And it's this very same character who goes into a mortal panic when she starts drifting off into space and then casually waves at Nick Fury as she's passing his space window. Meanwhile, Brie Larson plays the lead so casually stone-faced that whenever there's any danger, it feels like a simulation. It's bad enough when the story doesn't make you feel the threat of the antagonist, but when the performances are reflecting that, it's game over.
And it's not like the plot's doing these people any favors. We get so many jumps in space-time to so many different locations that you can barely keep up with what's going on. It's literally to the point where the characters are asking each other that very question.
Pointless predicaments created as filler for a real story. This movie becomes completely aimless in the second act when the three of them board a ship and start acting like it's a sleepover. They're jump roping, then they're playing rock, paper, scissors, then they're playing what looks like the superhero version of the knockout game. And you know, somewhere in the abscess of Hollywood, there's probably a B-roll where these actors were asked to give each other makeovers in matching pajamas.
And then it's straight to cocktail hour after they wind up on a planet where everybody just sings. Meanwhile, Samuel Jackson is birthing cats, who even knows why. And Roger, this is where I almost lost my mind. As the cats are running amok all over the ship, the movie has the audacity to play the song, Memories, from the old Broadway musical, Cats. It gets to the point where you're almost rooting for Andrew Lloyd Webber to come out and open fire on everyone who boarded the ship.
I agree, but unfortunately you're more likely to get a song from Mr. Mistopheles. But you know, Gene, I've got to say, this movie wasn't as woke as I expected it to be as far as the messaging goes. But at some point, you're just waiting for that bomb to go off. And when it finally does, it's like a jamboree of guilty, rich white people sounding their applause at the Oscars.
You'd also think that for $275 million, they could come up with something besides chasing another MacGuffin. It's lazy boilerplate writing. Let's face it, the sleeve thing is just another Infinity Stone. Why are they copying this? And for some strange reason, what the hell was that?
What was what?
Did you just fart in the middle of the taping?
Was probably just an audio cable. You know, like feedback off the boom mic.
I know what feedback sounds like, and that definitely wasn't. You're, what? Seriously?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Unbelievable. I mentioned the president crapping his pants in the intro, and then you go ahead and rip a loud fart while we're taping. You know what? I'm letting the producer leave it in so everyone can see what an absolute fool you are.
Whoever smelt it, dealt it.
Whoever denied it, supplied it.
Whoever named it, framed it.
Whoever declined it, designed it.
Whoever exposed it, composed it.
Let's move on, shall we?
I think that's best for everyone involved.
Anyway, while Roger and I disagree on what constitutes good manners, we both agree that The Marvels lacks cohesive structure and the performances don't deliver. Even when the movie tries to reverse the role of hero and villain, it forgets to give us a reason to feel empathy. When the bad guy wants revenge for crimes against her own empire, Captain Marvel realizes she may have had a hand in the whole thing. There's another movie that creates the same scenario, but executes the confrontation in a far more meaningful way, and it's Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. Take a look.
No, Jim, stop it!
Harvey!
Don't let
Harvey! I'm sorry! For everything! It's not about what I want. It's about what's fair! You thought we could be decent men in an indecent time! His son's got the same chance she had. 50-50.
As you can see from that scene, there's an emotional gravitas in which the consequences of the hero's unintended actions are immediately presented in dramatic form, rather than some brief regret that's mildly expressed or hinted at. Unlike The Marvels, The Dark Knight presents the climax in a way that's far more intimate, and a choice has to be made between two irreconcilable goods. As a result, the question as to who the real antagonist might be comes into question and invites the audience to ponder the question of morality. Had the Marvels explored that guilt in similar fashion, maybe we'd have had something. Anyway, that's it for this week. Next week, we'll be reviewing Star Wars: The Force Awakens, a 2-hour diversity seminar that'll make you feel like you've been there before. Until then, the balcony is closed.
Promotional considerations were paid for by the following. The Quantum Reality Speed Controller. Does your life suck? With the Quantum Reality Speed Controller, you'll be able to fast forward through all the moments that make life not even worth living. With just one click of a button, you'll breeze past that soul-sucking Monday to Friday job. Cheat the last years of your life being sick in a hospital, and avoid those painful holiday get-togethers when some idiot feels the need to ask how your life is going. The Quantum Reality Speed Controller. When life is empty and you're just playing out the stretch. The Facializer. Brought to you by Shanae. Tired of being beautiful while taking a midnight jog through a depressed neighborhood? If you're someone with a severe decision-making disorder, just one application, and you'll be able to beg for trouble without the consequences. With the Facializer, just wait till that creep hiding around the next corner gets a load of you. See your doctor if the effects last more than 4 hours. The Choose Your Own Reflection Vanity Mirror. When it's much easier to just keep doing what you're doing, the Choose Your Own Reflection Vanity Mirror disregards all the cheeseburgers you've eaten and reflects how you want to see yourself. Field tested with double-blind placebo effects. This is one mirror that will make people wonder how in the world you can possibly think you look as good as you think. And they'll envy it. The Choose Your Own Reflection Vanity Mirror. When life hands you lemons, make it a martini.